Record. Okay, I think that's recording. So, welcome to the DWalkerFitness podcast. Today's guest is Shelley, the Pure Elite Pro Overall World Champion. Sounds pretty cool when I say that. Welcome to this episode. So today I'm going to be interviewing Shelley, asking a few questions that you guys have asked, and see what Shelley's response is, and see if we can get a bit of an insight to who Shelley is and why she does what she does, and a bit of history and background. But yeah, how are you, and how are things with yourself?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm not bad. Excited for this one, just to get a bit of an insight into a competitor's mind and see how you think it. Well, see how you think and the answers that you give to the questions. So I think it'll be quite exciting, personally.
I hope so.
Yeah, we're still. Again, like I said just before, appreciate you coming on, spending the time. You said you got to go to a training session, so I won't keep you too long, but we'll blast through these questions and see where it takes us.
Okay.
Awesome. Right. So these are all questions that I've been sent through Instagram. So I've put them in kind of an order-ish, and we'll just see, like I said, where it takes us. So the first question I got was, who is Shelley? And what made you get into the fitness industry? So someone wants to know a little bit more about who you are and what made you get into the fitness industry in the first place.
Okay. Who I am.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I'll start with my actual name then is Michelle.
Michelle.
Yeah.
Nice.
Everyone calls me Shelley for short. I actually didn't come up with that. It just happened.
Yeah.
And then I noticed more and more people calling me Michelle. Sorry, not Michelle, calling me Shelley.
Mm-hmm.
And then I remember one time I went somewhere and I was like, "Oh, I'm Michelle," and everyone was like, "Who?" And I went, "Shelley," and they were like, "Oh yeah." I was like, "Okay, Shelley then."
Yeah, I was going to ask actually and say, what did you prefer? Is it Michelle or Shelley? I just went with Shelley, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, everyone knows me as Shelley, but
okay.
Yeah, just putting it out there. My name is Michelle.
Nice. No, that's cool. And then, how did you get into the fitness industry itself, or what kind of pushed you into that direction?
Well, I've always been in sports,
mm-hmm.
and I've always been fascinated actually with like bodybuilding, weight training, but I never had a chance to actually do it.
Mm-hmm.
I was too busy doing gymnastics, cheerleading, ballet, acrobatics, all sorts.
Nice.
Then I decided to slow down because the sports I was doing, they have a very short lifespan.
Right.
And then I found myself feeling agitated to do something.
Okay.
Yeah. So I actually went to a shoot with Matt Marsh because I wanted fitness photos in my portfolio because I do model and I modeled in the past.
Nice.
But I didn't do fitness modeling, and everyone was like, "Why?" And I was like, I didn't think of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I decided to add it to my port, and Matt started talking about fitness modeling, and I was just so intrigued by it. I mean, we chat for so long. I mean, we did do some pictures, but we did chat for a while about it. And then by the end of it, he put me in contact with my current coach now, Lucy.
Yeah. Nice.
And I've been with her ever since. And 3 months later, I was entered into my first competition.
Nice. What year was that?
2018.
Brilliant. Okay. So that leads on perfectly to another question, actually. So someone said, some of these people have done their research by the looks of it, and says you've competed at Purely in 2018. So they got that right. How did you feel about your first show, and what did you learn from it?
Wow. So I actually started off thinking I was going to do maybe one show. Let's see how it goes. But then I got such a buzz from it.
Yeah.
And Purely were fantastic. They made me feel like so welcomed. They put my nerves at ease as well backstage.
Yeah.
It was interesting because when I did gymnastics, I used to get extremely nervous. But I felt like when I did Purely, I felt more myself. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I got nervous, but I didn't get as nervous. I felt more chilled, and I was like, oh, let's just see how this journey goes. And I didn't actually think what happened would happen. And so quickly.
Yeah. No, that's spot on. I think I was going to ask about why you chose Pure Elite in the first place, but you mentioned Matt Marsh, and Matt Marsh is linked with Pure Elite. So I'm assuming he kind of mentioned, say, listen, why don't you give Pure Elite a go? Is that how you got into it, or did you see Pure Elite prior to that, or what was your route into Pure Elite itself?
Before then, I actually followed Zoe Wright.
Yeah, nice.
So I was not in the industry, but I was like watching others, seeing what they're doing, inspired by them. And then obviously my coach, Lucy, she is associated with Pure Elite. Yeah. She didn't actually mention me to do any competition, to be fair. No way. She said, oh, what do you want to do? And I said, I want to compete. And then she mentioned a few names. Yeah. And I said, oh, and then I did the research. I thought, these two look good, or this one looks good. And she was like, okay, do you want to do that? I was like, yeah. Let's get ready.
Amazing. No, I love that. Fantastic. It was I think it's amazing how you just go, you know what, why don't we just give it a go? And a lot of people would never jump on that opportunity, or they might be afraid to do so. And a lot of people maybe miss out, but you just went for it. And how did you do on your first show? So what was the experience like? Where did you place? What categories did you end up doing on your first show?
So my very, very first show.
Yeah.
So my very, very first show was with Diamonds.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nice. Yeah.
And I got triple second. So I got second in fitness, second in Moms Who Lift, and second in evening wear.
No way. Not bad.
Yeah. So I was pretty amazed by that, because I was expecting nothing, to be fair.
God, I think it's good if you go into the mindset of just you're not sure what to expect, and everything that happens is going to be a bonus no matter how you do. And no, that's amazing. Brilliant. No, that's fantastic. Yeah. Okay. So again, like I said to you earlier, some of these questions might kind of morph into a few others. So I just need to double check and make sure I'm not asking the same question over and over again. So someone said here, what competitions have you done? Right. So this one might revert kind of slightly back in time. So someone says you've suffered a few injuries in the past, maybe ankle injuries. Someone's written and says, how did you overcome them, and emotionally did it impact you moving forward? So I'm assuming this was before you competed.
Yes.
With an injury. What was the injury, and how did that affect you moving forward? So we have kind of jumped back a little bit there, so apologies.
Brilliant. Well, this person knows me very well.
Yeah, they sent me the message, and I was like, "How did you know that?" And it was like,
amazing.
Someone's a bit of a fan, and said, "I'm really intrigued. I want to know more." And I said, "Oh well, I'll ask, and we'll see what comes up, and see what Shelley's got to say." But yeah, again, I didn't know that, and I was like, "How did you know?" So yeah, I was going to fire away the question and see what happens.
Okay, well, so I got injured in cheerleading. Yeah. It was unfortunate, but unfortunate at the same time, I guess. Just before I was doing my world tryouts. So I was on par to go to Worlds.
Wow.
In Florida for cheerleading. Wow. So at the tryouts, at the end, I came out of a stunt and my ankle went over and you heard a crack. It just went crack. The whole gym stopped. And all I saw was my coach launching herself at me. And I was like, oh, this woman's crazy. Oh, I'm in pain. And then all I see is her ripping my shoe off. Now, when I looked down, my foot had swollen about this big. Yeah. Started going blue, all sorts. She was basically ran to get my shoe off, obviously to stop the circulation from being cut off, which I knew afterwards. Yeah. God, that's so there was my ankle gone, fractured in 2 places. Man. And I was out of cheerleading or out of any sort of training, walking for 3 months. But in the meantime, they told me, because it was at the end of the tryouts, I actually made the world's team.
No way.
Yeah. I thought my chances were blown. I was like, well, that's gone out the window.
Yeah.
But yeah, made the world's team. So what I had to do is I had to come in and I had to like visualize and watch the routine and kind of learn it without doing it.
Yeah.
So I did that for about another 3 months.
Wow.
And then I finally joined in. But when I did join in and when my cast came off, I thought I could just, do things in the next month. No, I had to literally learn how to walk again, let alone do a forward roll or back somersault or whatever they wanted me to do, which was crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy.
Yeah. So they gave me a time span. So I went back fully, say December. We had Worlds in April. We had our first competition in February. So I had from December to February to get back to where I was.
Wow. So you definitely need a strong mentality to overcome that for sure.
Yeah. So I did manage to do that, except I just made my tumbles a bit more basic. So we reserved me for Worlds.
Right.
So that's what I did. But I was able to still stunt and hold my flyer in the air.
Yeah,
I just couldn't do the tumbles or the jumps for a little while.
Wow. No way.
So, yeah, so that's what's happened. And then obviously I went to Worlds, did very, very well and managed to get through, but I had an ankle brace on the whole time. But in the meantime, what I didn't know until after, when I became basically my good ankle started to have pain in it. And I realized that something wasn't quite right. So I went to the doctors after Worlds and they said I had torn ligaments in my good ankle because I was putting a lot of stress on it instead of putting my weight on both ankles. The other ankle was bearing all the weight, basically. So I basically messed up both my ankles.
Man, that sucks.
Yeah.
Sorry to bring this up. It's a bit of a traumatic story. I'm sorry if that
it's all right. It ends well, by the way. It does end well. Kind of, yeah, it does end well. So so I then had to stop doing any activity altogether because I was like, well, what can I do? And the doctors were so concerned. They were like, you need to just stop. And I was like, okay. I finally did say, yes, I will stop. But it was so hard because I was used to being active. I was used to tumbling. So what I did is I decided to do a lot of research around ankle injuries and rehabilitation and strengthening exercises. So I just kept doing lots of strengthening exercises at home, even at work, anywhere I could.
Yeah.
And before you know it, I noticed my ankles were getting stronger and I was able to then walk without a brace.
Nice.
Then I went to, taping.
Yeah.
So that worked. And then after that, I realized the taping I was actually okay without the tape.
Okay.
So then I took the tape off, but I wasn't tumbling as much on it. I did like little tumbles, but not much because I would still get little twinges.
Yeah. And
then I noticed the twinges were getting less and less and less until it was Diamonds 2019.
Okay.
Yeah. And I was looking at the routine category.
Yeah.
And I was asked, why don't you do the routine category? So I didn't do it in 2018. I was, because obviously my ankles, I was hesitant about it. But 2019, I was like, I feel strong. Why not?
Yeah.
But obviously, I was a bit hesitant because it was on hard floor.
Yeah.
So I decided to try it out, test it, do a routine that didn't have as much impact, and see how I went. So that's what I did, and it was fine.
Brilliant.
It was so fine to the point where I was like, okay, let's do routine for Worlds.
Yeah.
So yeah.
No way. That is a pretty epic story. It shows what it can do when the power of the mind of just committing and going for it and really wanting something more than anything else. And you've just completely proved that with an unbelievable story. I think a lot of people could take away a lot from that. Like people will get a small, tiny injury and think life's over. You've just proven what can be done with a bit of hard work and dedication and a bit of grit. That's amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's amazing. It's spot on. It's how quick it wouldn't seem quick at the time, but as you went through, all of a sudden you've gone from one thing to the next, and then you're performing again. It's
Yeah.
a really good, really, really great story. That's brilliant.
Thank you.
Okay. So I was going to ask about like the worlds and everything else. So I think we'll come to a bit. So someone has asked me, good friend Charlie says, so we're kind of skipping through. So all of a sudden you've gone from 2018 competing, 2019 worlds.
Yeah.
Okay. Going into that, just the worlds, how are you feeling? What categories did you do? So kind of like list them off. And what were your expectations going into the worlds?
Well, it was a bit odd because I had a lot saying to me, oh, you can do this, you can do that. But to be fair, I'm the type where I'm like, okay, as long as I improve from comp to comp, and I know that I've tried my best.
Brilliant.
If I come last, I come last. As long as I know in myself that I tried my best. So that actually kept me quite chilled.
Yeah, nice.
I didn't go in thinking, oh my gosh, I need to do so well, and if I don't, something's going to happen, like the world's going to end or something. No.
Yeah.
I thought, oh well, if I come last, I can eat a donut, be nice. Yeah. So yeah, that's how I went into it. Obviously, I did feel nervous. It was actually really exciting for me because it was my pro debut.
No way.
Yeah.
So the world's in November, pro debut.
Yes.
Amazing.
Yeah. So 2018, my first worlds.
Yeah.
I won overall amateur and then got given my pro card.
Nice.
And then I took a year to build and then went to my pro debut.
No way.
Yeah.
That's very impressive. Very impressive.
Thank you.
Now, I was gonna say about the length of time to get there. I didn't realize I'm losing track of time because of what's happening recently. The years kind of flying by and thinking, wow, so 2018 overall amateur and then pro card and then your debut. See, I didn't know that was your debut.
Yeah.
I've seen your name flying around on the posters and everything else and thinking, like, you must have been doing this for a while. You look great, but your pro debut. So all of a sudden, you're on the stage, you win your category. And which category was that? Just so everyone knows listening.
Yep. So I won figure.
Yeah.
I also won fitness. I also won routine.
Nice.
I came second in Moms Who Lift.
Yeah.
And I came fifth in international model.
No way. Now that's amazing. Right. So you've won all them. Everything's great. All of a sudden. Yeah. So this is where the question comes in. So my friend Charlie says, can you describe the feeling when they announced you the overall world champion and knowing that you are the best female on that stage?
Even it's giving me a shudder now thinking about it. You know what? I think I stood still and I remember someone go to me, babe, that's you. And I was like, shut the front door. I think my mind went blank and everything went blurry. I was like, what's that number?
Yeah. No way.
And I even forgot my name at one point.
Man.
So yeah, it was so surreal. I can't even describe the feeling. I mean, I thought winning the overall amateur was like, that was it. But winning that, it just kind of blew my mind, and I didn't even know what to say. I actually was speechless for a while.
Did you think you'd have a chance after winning your category? So obviously you get your announcements for the categories first, and then it's the overall. Did you expect to win the categories that you were in after seeing the competition and after you did all the posing, and you think, you know what, I might have a chance here? Or how did you feel with the categories individually? How did you feel about that?
So I looked at everyone in my category and I thought, wow, that I'm going against a pretty strong lineup in all of them.
Yeah.
So I thought to myself, you know what, just do your thing and see what happens.
It happens.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, overall comes around and you win the whole show.
Yeah.
That's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Amazing. I can't even imagine how that must have felt, but no, amazing work. Again, you looked unbelievable. I was there as well, so saw all that happen in front. So yeah, absolutely phenomenal, well deserved, unbelievable. Yeah, anyone watching, and if you are listening, make sure you check out her Instagram. Look at the photos, look at the posing, and you'll see the reasons why she won the overall. Absolutely, someone you should inspire to to work from. I think, I think amazing, absolutely spot on.
Thank you.
No, amazing, spot on. We're going to go to the next one. So someone's asked again a similar question: what does it feel like being the women's world champion, and what expectations did you have going into the show? So you kind of explained about the expectations, about just going for it and just seeing what happens. Whatever happens, and as long as you've worked hard and you've done your best, that's all you can do. But obviously,
Yes.
you blew everyone out of the water, saying like nicely, like you come first, you won the show, which is amazing. But again, like you said, if you wouldn't have won, as long as you've beaten your previous kind of package, as they call it, from the last time, it's an internal victory for yourself, I think.
Yes, and it's been like that all my life as well, and every sport I've done as well.
Brilliant. No, I love that. This one is so it's quite a good question. So choosing your bikini must be a difficult task. How do you go about choosing which is the right one, and does that stress you out?
It's starting to now, because I think I'm running out of colors in my head.
Yeah, so like did you have different bikinis for each category, or was it just the one which you kind of spread across, or what was your approach?
I had, the first competition I had just the one.
Yeah.
And then slowly but surely I decided to have one for each
Nice.
category. Yeah.
Brilliant.
And yeah, it's hard to do 5 categories and then figure out all these colors for all of them.
Yeah.
But we got there in the end.
Where did you get your bikinis from? So a few people have asked me saying, where does she get the bikinis from? Is there someone that you work with for them, or is it just somewhere you can go online?
Yes, they're online. So my bikini sponsor right now is Bikini BKB, or Bikini Mama as she goes by.
Brilliant.
I've also had bikinis from La Diva as well, and La Diva also makes my stage wear for international model, so my lingerie.
Yeah, awesome. Brilliant. You've helped a lot of people out there. That's nice. Okay, where are we? So bikini, that's all done. So this one was, someone said again, do you get nervous before shows? So I guess someone said, do you get nervous before shows? Obviously, everyone gets a little bit nervous. Is there any kind of tips that you would give to someone who is getting nervous, or like a first-time competitor? What would you tell them?
I tend to visualize.
Mm-hmm.
So I tend to visualize myself coming out on stage, doing my routine. Mm-hmm. That calms my nerves. I love music. So if someone can find something that calms their nerves, if it's reading or something, who cares what you look like backstage? If you need to take a nap, whatever. I would say do it. So I listen to music. I might look crazy, but I'll be bopping along to my music. And then they're like, oh, okay, it's time to go on stage.
Yeah, here we go. No, brilliant.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I like that. I like that a lot. I said to someone, I spoke to someone a few podcasts, I can't remember who it was, and it was, I wish I learned a few of these little tricks before I did my show, because I was an absolute wreck for weeks and weeks and weeks, and there was nothing that I thought I could ever do just to calm my nerves. And I think, just put some music on and read a book. That would have helped a ton.
Yeah.
But no, that's awesome. Okay, next one. So someone says, by winning the Worlds, you are now part of the judging panel in Australia. Obviously, that's been postponed due to what's happened. Are you looking forward to? Are you looking forward to doing that, even though you won't be competing? So this is, I'm assuming someone has. I think she went to actually watch the show, because I was there as well. So she watched every single category and saw you.
Okay, brilliant.
And she looked at like the prizes and stuff and said, "Oh, that was pretty amazing."
Yes.
Are you still going ahead with the judging in Australia? I don't know when that's going to be now. I haven't.
That's next year now.
So will you still be part of the judging panel for that?
Yes.
Amazing. Do you think you'll be sad that you're not going to maybe do the show and you're going to be judging, or is that something you're looking forward to doing?
No, I'm actually looking forward to being on the other side. It's really exciting.
Yeah.
I haven't judged yet, so it'll be actually an amazing experience for me.
No, I think that'd be cool.
Yeah.
That'd be nice. Yeah, judging other people and seeing, I guess, maybe even looking at future competitors to try and go against yourself in the future. I don't know. It's
Yeah,
interesting.
who knows? Yeah.
Judging will be fun. That'd be good. That'd be brilliant.
Yeah.
Okay, we're getting there here. We're going half an hour on. I think half an hour, something like that. Can't see the time. Okay. Right, next one. Sorry, what did you say? Sorry.
Sorry, I just said I couldn't even see the time either.
Someone says, what advice would you give to any first-time competitors or maybe even current competitors? So just some kind of top tips if you have any. And that's
Okay. Well, my first tip will be know the federation you're competing for.
Yes.
Inside and out.
Mm-hmm.
So know the rules, know the criteria. Try and figure out, obviously, the categories you are looking to work towards if it's like a long span.
Yeah.
Or a category that suits you, obviously, if you're picking within like 3 months or so.
Okay.
And, you know, obviously, because, you know, some, they will go from one federation to another and they're already in condition. So I would say, yeah, just make sure you know your categories when you're going in and the rules.
No, I think that's a fantastic one. And I think one very overlooked. I spoke to Stuart about the whole posing thing, and people don't know what the posing criteria is. And I think surely you should know that. No matter if it's your first time or your 100th time, there's people who just turn up and maybe watch a few YouTube videos of other federations, which is fine, but then not get the posing criteria right, and that they lose marks over that.
Yes.
In regards to the posing, one of my questions actually is, do you have a posing coach? What's your inspiration for your posing? Is it something that you enjoy? Is it something that you do a lot? And if you can tell me a little bit more about just posing in general, and your thoughts on that.
So my routines for Worlds, I posed myself except for figure. So figure, I have a posing coach.
Yeah.
Last year was Emma Heineman, and I did a little bit, or I say had tips from Zoe.
Yeah.
This year it's Ria Gell, who's doing my figure for me, and the other routines I'm doing myself.
Nice. Is it something that you practice every day, or would you recommend people practicing a certain amount of time per day or per week, or what's your kind of thoughts on that?
So I practice nearly every day. So I tend to do it either in the morning or after a workout, just for about 10 minutes.
Brilliant.
And it seems like I'm not even practicing.
Yeah.
So it just fits into my schedule.
Yeah.
So that's what I do. And if just before I'm coming up to a show, which I'm going to be in 8 weeks' time, I'm defending my titles.
Nice.
I will then start practicing my routine for the routine category.
Brilliant.
So that takes a little bit more time. So I tend to do that 3 times a week for about half an hour. Yeah. And then that's it. And then if I keep doing that, I've noticed once I get up to the show, everything's done.
Everything's done.
And I'm not panicking, thinking, oh gosh, I need to think about my posing. And I have to do that as well, because obviously I'm doing 5 categories and it's different routines for everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think posing, I've mentioned the posing on nearly every podcast I've done, is super important, and people, again, that still don't believe me when I say you need to practice. Like the female world champion and the male world champion are telling you it's important, and learn the categories. You need to have a look and do your research. Get a posing coach. Find someone who knows the federation and knows the style of posing, and just because, again, people will follow other federations and their posing, and then you come into pure elite and it's completely different, and you will lose marks on that.
Yes.
But like you say, Shelley's there posing every day and doing what needs to be done to win, and as you said there, retain the title. So that was going to move on to the next question. So this was my question to you, actually. I've said, are you competing at the Worlds this year?
Yes, I am.
You are. Yeah, brilliant. How do you feel going into that? Is there any nerves again? Is there a bit more pressure now? Because you are like the face of the females. This is your house. Like this is your show. Is there added extra pressure, or do you feel just comfortable and you're going in with the same mindset of actually I'm here to beat my previous physique, whatever, and I'm happy with that? Or what's your kind of mentality at the moment, eight weeks out from the show?
So same as before. As long as I improve my physique, I don't want to put added pressure on myself. As long as I keep on track. With me, I'm a very tick box person. So as long as I tick all my boxes every day, I'm a pretty happy person. As long as I do that and I've tried my best, that's all I can do. This year's a bit crazy, so I'm not actually sure what. I know obviously my physique has improved, but I'm not sure by how much or, you know, what it's going to exactly look like in 8 weeks' time, obviously, due to the gyms not being open for a long time. So, but yeah, I mean, I tried. That's all I know.
Brilliant. No, that's perfect. I think a lot of people said to me, "Am I going?" And I've said no this year. I just want to relax and take a bit of time off and see. But I'd like to come down and watch if possible. So if I am there, I'll be in the crowd shouting. If not, I really hope you do well. Again, I don't know who else is going in the female categories just yet. I'll have a look around and see what's going on. But I'm thinking about maybe even like starting at like a mini little series, interviewing doing the worlds maybe. I don't know, and just see what everyone's thoughts are. I'm not sure what the logistics is like. There's only 8 weeks to go, which will fly by. But no, I thought potentially it's kind of just come to me as we were filming this and just seeing what your thoughts are and of like going into it. Do you think you're going to win? Do you think are you confident, or are you not sure? What's your thoughts? Like, I really want to see if I don't know. I want to see what your prediction is, and then maybe even like after, maybe have a catch up and say, right, how did you do and how did it go? What's your thoughts on that?
Well, to me, I don't actually predict my results. I stopped doing that a long time ago, to be fair.
Good.
But I always think that I'm a winner, no matter what. So I always go with a winning mindset.
No, I like
Even
that.
if I did come last, in my head, I'm still a winner. So, yeah.
No, I love that. Fantastic. Yeah, I was looking at the response and see what I'd get back, and no, I really like that. And it, like you said before, about trying to beat the previous package and going in with a winner's mindset. No, that's perfect. Do you like have anyone you know who you maybe compete against, like friends who are going, or is there anyone that you look forward to standing next to on stage, or is it just going kind of lone wolf in there and just doing the best you can, or have you got any kind of friends who you'd like to see it going?
So I do have Gemma Ayres, so she'll be next to me on stage. I'm so looking forward to it. Just can't wait to catch up as well, really. I haven't seen so many people in so long. So even though we'll be sharing the stage, it'll just be so nice to, literally just catch up. I think there's Rosie as well. We met at the gym meetup, such a nice girl. So it'd be nice to stand next to her on stage. I think she was meant to compete last year, but didn't. So, yeah.
No, brilliant. No, that's nice. No, I love that. Have you got anything what you want to bring up, or anything that comes to mind, or any kind of final words? I've gone through all the questions there. One or two have kind of morphed into each other, so I've just left them to the side. That's fine. If not, it's entirely up to you. Anything that you'd like to add at all?
I really just wanted to say to everyone who's listening, thank you so much for your support. I've actually had so much positive feedback on this journey. Literally, I haven't even had anything bad, to be fair. And I came into this so quickly, so I wasn't expecting any support, literally. But I just want to say thank you.
No, brilliant. No, I think, like I said previously, I think you've done great. The journey is unbelievable, especially to come from where you were with the injuries all the way to all of a sudden you're the world champion, the number one female on the planet, going into the show. It's fantastic, and I think it's a really good story. A lot of people can get motivated from that and use it as inspiration to show anything is possible when you really, really, really go for it. And you've got a winner's mindset, which you have, which is it's fantastic. I think it's I really appreciate you coming on and opening up and letting us know kind of what you've been up to and how things are going and moving into the worlds. But if I don't catch up with you beforehand. I really hope it all goes well. I think the vibe of the show will be out of this world, especially with what's been going on with the cancellations of the show. I think it'll be unbelievable. I'm going to do my best to come down, but if not, I'm not going to say good luck. I don't really like that word, but like just smash it and then you'll work hard. It's a case of just going in there with your winner mentality. I think you'll do well. It'll be exciting to see what happens. I look forward to seeing the results. And again, I'd like to catch up with everyone as well. And again, I hope everything goes smooth. Everyone stays safe. But
thank you so much.
But no, you smashed it. You've absolutely smashed it. I haven't got any more questions. I'm happy. I'm happy with that. Yeah. Anything else, or you okay? All good to go?
I'm all good to go. Yeah, I think we've answered everything.
No, brilliant. Yeah. If anyone who is listening or watching has any other questions that you want to ask myself or Shelley, make sure you drop a comment or just message her directly. Do you do any kind of one-on-one posing, or is it any online coaching, anything like that, or are you?
Yes, I've started to now. Mm-hmm. I haven't launched yet. I'm in the middle of doing my website.
Nice.
But yes, I do.
Okay. No, brilliant. And then when that's all ready to go, drop me a message and I'll put them in the pictures and the bios and stuff like that. But in the comments somewhere, they'll be somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah. But again, like I said, if I don't speak to you beforehand, smash it. Again, safe travels to the worlds. Stay safe and make sure you follow Shelley on all the social medias. And thank you for coming on. I really appreciate it. And
you're welcome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for interviewing me.
No, it's absolutely great. I think it's good to speak to you and figure out what the mind of a champion, as they call it, and just kind of get to know you a little bit better. But I appreciate your time. Have a good leg session after this, and
thank you. How do you know it was legs?
You said just before the podcast.
Oh, did I say that?
Yeah. Yeah, you said
I forgot.
legs. Yeah, I think you said legs after this. And I can't even remember. I can't remember if we recorded that or not, but I know we spoke about something with training later on. But
oh yeah. No, I'm gonna say because obviously I only train legs now. So really.
No, that's cool. But no, I think if there's anything else that you, like I said, any links or anything you want to add in, like I said, send me a message, let me know. But thank you for coming on. I will end the podcast there. Again, thanks guys for listening. Drop the video / Spotify a like, and thank you for listening, and thank you, Shelley, for coming on.
You're welcome.
Brilliant. Thank you.